Hey there, everyone. I was at a breakfast business meeting this morning, and I found myself getting a little heated around a few things. And then later on today, I'd had a question on a Facebook naturopathic practitioner group, and some guy was just in there haranguing me. And once again, it just made me realize again, people aren't hearing, people aren't listening, people aren't. Willing to listen to two sides, but there's no dialogue anymore. People are often like, nope, you're wrong, nope, you're wrong, nope, you're wrong, nope, you're wrong. Whereas, do you remember the old days when people used to have a conversation? There was a conversation. Anyway, it doesn't feel like conversations happen anymore, and people close their minds, and it's like once you turn 15, you've got all your ideas in your head sorted. And I'm reading Carrie Mullis's book. He's the guy who developed the PCR testing, and his book is called something like Dancing Naked in the Minefield or something like that. Anyway, I ordered it in because, he's one of the ones when people quote him, Facebook always says, not true, not true, not true. Anyway, so I ordered his book because someone said it was funny, and it is bloody funny. But anyway, and I've even been reading that and sort of listening how 30 years ago, how science took place, and how science, it was about doing experiments, working things out, chatting to other people in the field. What about this? What about that? What about something else? And it feels like we're getting to a spot where we're not allowed to do that anymore. We're not allowed to discuss things. We're not allowed to have an open forum. Can't possibly have a different opinion. And one of my rants this morning during the business meeting was, and this isn't against vegans, but the veganism, if it's purely about animals, that's one thing. A lot of people think it's about health. That's another thing. A lot of people are doing it because of their religion or their spiritual values, or they're raising their vibration. That's a different thing. So depending on why people do it, depends how I will come at it from a naturopathic perspective when I'm chatting to them. Same with vegetarians, same with carnivores. So depending on where someone is at, I treat them all differently because I think that is the appropriate and moral thing to do as a practitioner. Whereas I do know practitioners who are vegetarians and they refuse to treat people who are meat eaters, and I know people who are naturopaths and they refuse to treat anyone going through cancer who is taking any sort of medication. So there's lines in the sand that people have to draw, and I just feel that this year it's been one of those. It feels like there's 1,000 lines that have been drawn. It feels like this just hasn't. It's not going to let up. It's not going to let up. Because of the more mutant strains of the COVID that, like they're calling one in India, there's been the South African one, there's been the UK strain, all these extra strains. So my question was, how do we protect ourselves from these unknown strains? When Australia opens its border, if it ever happens, how do we protect ourselves and our clients? And it was interesting because just that comment created this huge amount of controversy. And I was sort of also saying, and what can we do to help those people who are choosing to be vaccinated? Anyway, it got a whole bunch of interesting. Anyway, it was interesting, and I've been thinking about it all day. So. That's my chat. So my meditation is going to be about listening, respect. Listening and respect, and we'll see where it goes from there. Okay, part 2 coming up.